Welcome to another edition of Banter Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Peabody McGee. Or Fanboytone. Sorry, I keep forgetting it's... That's an off-stream joke. I get it. My bad. Anyways, Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, what's good, buddy? How we doing?
I am mostly well. I'm very tired, exhausted. It's been a long, stressful week.
You've had a very busy week.
A very busy week. It has been a week.
It's been a week indeed.
But I'm all right. You?
Yeah, man. Work has been stomping on my nuts pretty good. But man,
you didn't pay anybody to do that this time?
Right. Normally I charge like $3.
Yeah, for stilettos.
God, those do feel good. Tricky knows what I'm talking about.
Tricky
it has
definitely
been
knows.
One of those fucking weeks. Is our chat going the wrong way?
Is it?
Oh,
it is for once.
It is. Our chat's it's going the wrong way, you dummy. It's supposed to go the other way.
I don't even know what that means.
It's going down when it should be coming from the top.
She said.
Is it coming from the top? Nah, it's dude likes
definitely wrong
because of the nut stomping. I mean, it's not wrong. I thought we saw it came down from the top.
It is. We'll switch it.
I'm going to. Jeez.
Watch out for the dead air. I'll keep talking. Hello.
How do you do that?
How you doing, Forge?
Chat. Here it is.
Nice to see you.
Reverse.
Is there a reverse?
Reverse. Wow.
Welcome to Banter Babble. Either way, guys. Glad to have you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us.
Doesn't let me do it.
Testicle difficulty? No way.
It doesn't. It doesn't let me go because it's show. Oh yeah, there we go. From the top. Why is this off? So bizarre.
Testicle difficulty.
Hey,
there
we go.
Thank you for those subs. Appreciate all y'all.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow. Holy shit.
What the man? Y'all need to stop. Like for real.
Hey.
Wow.
Thank you very much for all those subs. I'm guessing might have been a.
I don't know.
We gotta keep up, guys. So we apologize. Thank you everybody for all the kindness you are right now showing us in our hot mess start to our hot sexy show.
Man, yeah, that's very generous.
Very
much.
Thank you kindly for those subs. Thank you for all that. We appreciate you.
Very, very kind. Thank you so much.
And well, hey, now that we got that figured out, welcome to Banter and Babble. We're back.
Welcome to episode number 34 of Banter and Babble. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight.
Absolutely.
We have a stacked show, actually. A lot of great stuff. Movie stuff, game stuff, TV show stuff, and Tone peeing at some point. Really, really excited for it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great show. But, Tone,
yes.
How about the weather? Let's talk about the weather.
Let us talk about the weather. So, I had my windows down on the way to work this morning.
It was that kind of day. It's that kind of day. We peaked at 70 degrees today. I had his microphone's trying to hear.
It's a little close. Hey.
Hey.
He yells at me all the time about this thing not being near my mouth.
The soothing sounds of Fanboytone, those sultry baritones I want as clear as possible. Not only for myself, for when I edit, but for you guys, because you guys love it.
Right.
But no, it has been an absolutely, it was a gorgeous day today. I mean, seriously, it's the first time we hit 70s all year. I mean, since fucking August. I don't know, probably September, October. But man, I had every window in the house open, dude. And when you did the breeze, it just rushes through. It was just like, this is what I want.
It was the same for me this morning. Like I was telling you earlier, I got up, got ready for work, got out of the shower, and I'm like, why? Like I felt cool air, and I'm like, that's brisk. I'm like, wonder if
you
she's
had
got
the fan on. You were air drying.
Oh yeah, spread eagle on the bed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I walked out of the bedroom though, and ready to leave for work, and yeah, she had all the windows open. Just this cool air. The cats were going ape shit, of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I got hit with this like just nice, cool, fresh smelling air, and I was like, this is it. I'm going to work.
Yeah, it was.
I went to work and
I wore shorts today. Dick explode. Man, wow, that's hot, dude. Arkin had his junk hanging out. No, it was. I had shorts on all day.
For a small while.
I had shorts on all day. I mean, it was like one of those days. Just like it was beautiful weather. It's supposed to be the same way tomorrow, but then hey, weekend 45.
That's why somebody today was talking about that.
Yeah,
like, it's a great day. I'm like, well, that means the weekend's probably going to be fucking
cold.
cold.
It'll be 45, and then it's supposed to be 39 like next week on Monday. It's just like, okay, Mother Nature's like, here's a taste. Here's the nope. Just the
Michigan.
tip. Mother Nature just the tip.
It's fucking Michigan.
Miss Ultimate Cannon. What's going on?
What up, boss?
How we doing this evening? Tone, first things first. What the fuck are we drinking?
Well, we are drinking another combo
A
'cause
combo.
these damn 4 and 6 pack situations. But
I do like this though. The combo it allows us to explore different beers.
that's how I
share some
feel.
more beers
It's
with
nice,
with the viewers,
yes,
and it's
yes.
pretty beautiful.
I totally agree. So tonight we are drinking from one of our favorite breweries here in Michigan, Pigeon Hill. This is the Red Raspberry Punski
Punchki, yep.
beer.
You thought it was Pashki before.
This is shut your mouth. I'll smack you. With
Shut
this
your whore mouth.
This is something that good old half-ass beer review picked up for us.
Of course it was.
He had to drive across the state to a liquor store or gas station or something that was the closest proximity that he could get this on the
Isn't
shelf.
it wild that there are places outside of Saginaw you can go to a gas station to get a good ass beer like this that you can't find like something in Saginaw like Cork and Ale?
I don't
That's
know.
Saginaw sucks, bro. You can go to a gas station somewhere else and grab something like this. You go to Cork and Ale, they're like, sorry, you can't get it.
Right. It was probably actually a liquor store, but around here, gas stations, plenty of beer and craft beer at that. Thank you for all those bits. Thank you for the cheers. Thank you for those subs. Everybody starting out the show hot.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate you. Much love to you all. Much love to you all. Sounds horrible, Tone. What do you mean? What does that mean, Arkenrath?
Don't. He's running a bit.
He's definitely running a bit.
It's 9 o'clock. It's bit
yes,
time.
It's bit time.
I'll be clear. Cheering. We got cheer bits. Those bits. It's bit time.
We
get
bit
the
time.
bits from Miss Alt, and then we get bits from Arkenrath.
So it sounds like
the
a
bit hour.
Must be a Wednesday night.
It's the bit hour.
Must be a Wednesday night.
Hey, Twazu, what's going on? Hey, Twazu in the house. Jay Hill, there. Oh man, he threw all the fanboy tones up. Yeah, look, it didn't. That was weird.
Whatever.
I don't see any faces. That's bizarre.
It's okay.
But continue. So we have the rad.
Yeah.
Raspberry
So we got
Patch
the red raspberry, and then we
Punski.
have Punski.
Yep. See, you got me all fucked up because you called it
whatever. The Roselaire Flanders Red Sour Ale, done in oak, aged in oak.
Aged in oak.
So this is definitely it's very smoky. We had one before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely a different type of sour.
Very different type of sour.
I really like it. I don't know if you're kind of hit or miss on it, but I like that kind of like just real smokiness that it's not like, a lot of the sours we have around here tend to be like fruity or so like a Goza or something like that, but this isn't, and I really enjoy it. It reminds me of the first sour I had, which was that God damn, I can't think of that fucking brewery. What is that? Jack Pumpkin Brewery. I know, there you go. So anyways,
sure.
2 beers a night.
Wow, 2 beers. Yeah, we're already running deep. We're already hitting it pretty hard. Plus, I drank the dude's rug. That was actually a really good.
It's very
really
dry.
Good beer. That was really really good. A hard cider with tea and chai spices added. It was.
That's a very delicious flavor. Jolly Pumpkin. Thank you, Jay McKenzie.
Jolly Pumpkin.
Thank you.
There you go. See, there you go. That's why you bring Jay McKenzie.
Yeah,
for the facts.
Yes,
just the facts, ma'am. Miss Ultimate Cannon, you are very sweet.
Yeah,
and
BFF.
so is Little Ninja AU. Appreciate that.
Thank you all for
Miz,
all that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys, the support is amazing, and we love you guys very much. And it I try not to cry. I try not to. I mean, seriously, this is really this is why, for you guys and girls to come in here and throw that around, and for we doing what we love to do, and that you guys appreciate it that much, and you guys love being here, and you support us like that. It's motivation. That's the only motivation I need. Seeing the chat going crazy, seeing the chat having fun, and obviously these generous gifts to us. We really appreciate you guys and girls very, very much. It's amazing.
Very humbling. We appreciate it.
Very humbling. But okay,
we
got the booze out of the way.
We did.
We got some good booze tonight.
Yes.
What have you been playing? Let's talk a little bit of game, because we're gonna start off with gaming news. What have you been playing? Anything good?
Not a whole lot has changed since last week. I dabbled a little bit more in Bravely Default 2 when I can. A little bit of Control as per usual as well too, which I can't. Even the little amount of time I played in that, you can tell it's a special game. And I pretty much threw my computer out of the window last weekend when I was playing Valheim.
I heard you got a visit from a troll, and not the type of troll that we love, but an actual troll that fucked your place up.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Turned into Ark real fast.
Now, I actually logged into our server
2 weekends ago when you were hammering.
No, like the other day. The other day,
did you?
I hopped in there, and I seen your building, and it still was in shambles. There was a lot of wood on the ground, and I was like, boy, this place got wrecked.
Fuck it.
And I actually I peed on your bed, and I left that. I turned the game off.
I was gonna do that myself.
I pissed all over it. It was great, dude.
Oh yeah, I'm good for a minute. I'm just taking a little breather because that a little rage inducing.
Yeah, that's what I don't need, man. I don't need that kind of shit going on, especially when you spend all your time. But hey, you know what? Build a fence. Don't let the fucking troll in. Build some defenses.
Well, Kronos isn't here tonight, but I blame him.
Oh, I mean, that's obviously everyone blames Kronos.
He had most of the wall done.
Mm-hmm.
Over 3/4. Like, he had me, and it was behind my building. Had he had that motherfucker built, maybe he wouldn't have been trolled by a troll.
You got trolled by a troll.
Trolled by a troll.
That's heavy stuff. No, that's awesome. And you're still thinking Bravely Default?
Yeah, I can't get enough of that combat.
It's really good game. I actually took a small break from that just to focus more on Yakuza Like a Dragon. I streamed that on Monday night.
And you can't get enough of that.
That game is fucking sweet.
Dude, watching, like, I try, like, when you guys are streaming and I'm out there lurking and I'm doing different things around the home, whether it's watching or hanging out with fam or something like that, I try to give them as much attention as I can. I was glued to your gameplay that night because that game has something special going on with that gameplay, and I like.
It's so good,
dude. Somebody mentioned kind of bouncer, and I was like, oh, I kind of see that analogy.
It's super unique because it's got obviously that Japanese like vibes to it. It's very goofy. It's very over the top, but man, the combat is really. As everyone knows, the pound mates. I unlocked a character, a pound mate, Gary Buster Holmes. And yeah, he's a pound mate, and he'll come in. You can call him in. He's pricey, but he'll do heavy damage to everyone on the board. So, but the cool thing about this game so far is I really dig the writing, like the stories, all the story that's unfolding. It's really well written.
Yeah, like it's like reading and watching. Really shot.
I mean, it's not just some cheap generic story. Like it's really good. Like you're just like, man, they're touching on some cool, decent themes here. Like it's kind of a mature story, and it complements the goofy, over the top JRPG stuff that you would expect from these types of things. So it's a lot of fun, you guys. If you get a chance to check it out, I highly recommend it. It's been on Xbox Series X since launch. The PS5 just got its upgrade, so it's super fast load times, silky smooth 4K 60 gameplay. It's a lot of fun, and it's not like the typical Yakuza games, which are brawlers. This is a turn-based like JRPG. It's a completely different style of gameplay than what we've seen in previous games.
But it doesn't look like a turn. Like the mechanics.
Everyone's
of it,
moving around. It's not like a set table.
It's fucking. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, and it's cool because you got to pay attention. You know, it's turn-based, but everyone's moving around. If you target an enemy and somebody jumps in front of you as you're going in for the kill, they'll actually block you and damage you. It's like a real-time defense system in a turn-based RPG. It's pretty wild. It's really cool. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. So now that we've gone over what we're playing, let's get into the first bit of gaming news. Obviously, yesterday was a big day. But the Bethesda, the Xbox acquisition of Bethesda is now official. It's been approved. We're good to go to move forward with this. And while it was a big day of like a lot of executives and people were really excited about it, there's still a lot of questions about what this ultimately means for Bethesda games and who's going to have access to them. You know, obviously we know Xbox will have their games. We obviously know PC will have their games.
Right.
But, you know, there's a small audience out there of PlayStation owners and even Switch owners that are wondering, hey, are we going to see any of these games that we've been seeing before? The answer is we're not 100% sure yet. And, you know, back in September when they announced this acquisition was taking place, Phil Spencer basically summed it up saying it'll be on a case-by-case basis. So everyone's like, oh, what the fuck does that mean? We have no idea. And so here we are a couple months later, I think 5 or 6 months later, the acquisition is finalized. It's done. Bethesda has joined Xbox. And what we got yesterday was this quote.
We still have no fucking idea.
This is the most important quote from the entire article that came out. It's highlighted in green lightly. I did a poor job, but it says, gamers should know that Xbox consoles, PC, and Game Pass will be the best place to experience new Bethesda games. Best place to experience.
Right.
Best place. Including some new titles in the future that'll be exclusive to Xbox and PC players. Still a lot of foggy gray area. Still not really sure what that means. And a lot of people out there, you know, with their theories and whatnot, but the fact is we're not going to know. We might know something more tomorrow. Jeff Grubb on Twitter said that Microsoft has something planned for tomorrow, a video presentation that'll likely kind of explain, you know, what this means for Xbox. Maybe it'll focus more on how this affects Game Pass. But I mean, honestly, Tone, it's up in the air right now, man. We really don't know. There's a whole lot of different speculation, a whole lot of different perspectives on this, on what people think this will mean for everybody. But I mean, what do you think, man? I mean, based on that comment, I mean, how do you interpret that?
I think it's listen, I don't know really how to interpret that because it sounds the same it sounded last fall to me, personally.
Yep.
What I will say is, as somebody who tries to play a lot of all over the spectrum on the consoles, if I was Xbox, I don't really see a whole lot of need to really share these with anybody else. Like, this is a really good acquisition.
Yep.
Like, you want to sell a console? Guess what? Keep Elder Scrolls to the Xbox. That will probably sell a console.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to sell a lot of consoles? Maybe. That's more than you may have sold without that acquisition. A lot of folks are going to play it on PC anyways. And yes, it's unfortunate that PlayStation don't have them, but I mean, that's how exclusives go. And that's the biggest issue that I've had with Microsoft, especially this particular last gen going through Xbox One and PS4, is the lack of exclusives, the lack of, enticing me over to their system more. So this is good for them. While I don't think like Doom is a system seller. I don't think all their games are system sellers. I think Elder Scrolls is a system seller.
I mean, yeah, if you look at their previous sales, I mean, Benji Sales on Twitter, who has a lot of information, he covers a lot of sales stuff. I mean, outside of the Fallouts, well, we wouldn't include Fallout 76. A lot of these games that were multi-platform, the Dooms, I mean, which is hard to believe because Doom was such an incredible game.
Right.
Doom, Fallout 76 was a total dud. Prey underperformed. Doom underperformed. Dishonored 2 underperformed, which is a fucking travesty. Dishonored games are amazing.
Even the Prey game was a pretty good game. It's just,
they're all critically acclaimed games outside of Fallout 76, but they still underperform. So I mean, yes, Bethesda's a huge name, and obviously it's mostly because of the Fallout single player games and Elder Scroll games. Those are your big tent pole franchises. I would say the other ones are kind of niche titles. I mean, in essence, I mean, if those are underperforming by sales standards, maybe yes, it's cool to see Doom. There's the hardcore audience, old school players that love Doom that can associate to Doom. But if overall the sales are underperforming, I think that's a more important thing to look at this. So, I mean, would it be better off if they look at multi-platform? I mean, there's a lot of PlayStation 4s, PlayStation 5s out there, but ultimately, I think we talk about it. A lot of this comes back to Game Pass.
Comes back to cloud gaming, bro.
Game Pass is everywhere. It's on your fucking phone, dude. You can play all these Game Pass games on your phone. And that's where I feel like the appeal is. That's where it's going to make its money. That's where it's going to be like, hey, man, if you want to play Elder Scrolls, it's on Game Pass. That's more appealing to a lot of people than, hey, you have to buy this $500 box. If I already have a phone that has Game Pass, that has Xbox ability to stream games on it, Game Pass is, what, $15, $25 a month? I can't remember what it is.
$15 a month.
I don't even care. Whenever these things come out, I'm just buying the pass. I just want the year long. I'm going to be using it, so it's like crazy. Crash says Xbox doesn't have a lot of exclusives to begin with. They squandered their handling of Rare, so I wouldn't be surprised if they made Bethesda or at least some Bethesda titles Xbox exclusives to compete. Oh yeah, I mean they mentioned in that previous quote, somewhere down the line, it's going to, they said some games will be PC Xbox exclusives. I mean they're not going to spend $7.5 billion not to have something that's exclusive to their platform. But there's going to be games, and some people have mentioned, the live service games, Fallout 76 or any other iteration of that down the line, Elder Scrolls Online. Yes, those will continue to be all these different titles, or they'll continue to be multi-platform games. So, I don't know.
I mean, I think this is going to sound kind of silly, but I think Bethesda is a good fit for Xbox Home. It's a westernized company, both of them really for the most part. The gamings are very westernized, as they call them. The RPGs are third person. They're it's not that it's got that kind of Dragon Age feel or look, whatever, with the Elder Scrolls. I mean, it's a good fit for them on Xbox because they also rule on PC real well. A lot of people play Elder Scrolls on PC, Doom as well too. So or Fallout, any of this stuff. A lot of that stuff had their beginnings on PC. It's a good. The ecosystems work really well,
right?
So at the end of the day, I keep saying I think that it would be better for them to keep as much as they can close to their chest for exclusivity because it can help move hardware as well too. If you can ever find that hardware sometime in the next 10 years, but it's a good get. However you want to say it. What is that? Is that how you say it?
It's a good get.
It's a good get.
It's a good get.
There we are. So we're finalized. Let's we'll wait to see where it goes. And if you've got a PlayStation and not an Xbox, maybe you got a PC. You'll find a way to play one of these games that you want to play, and you'll get it figured out, and if you're lucky, you'll get to see some of them on a Sony system too. But
and see, I completely forgot about that. I mean, we talk about Game Pass being available on and the ability to stream on mobile devices. Prime Data says, it's about to be on new Samsung TVs as well. So if they move the Game Pass and all that stuff to TVs as well, dude, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to have access to these games.
Buy a controller, now you have Game Pass on a TV.
And ultimately, the other way you could think about, Xbox could get these is bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. I mean, there's a lot of interesting,
possibility for them.
There's so many possibilities, and there's so many different theories out there, and it's really interesting. And I'll be curious to see. And I think it's smart of Microsoft to kind of play those cards close to the chest right now.
You should,
because there's the whole FOMO thing. Fear of missing out. We're not going to show you all the cards. We're not going to tell you everything yet. So people are going to be like, fuck, man, I should probably buy an Xbox. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to buy an Xbox so I can have access to these games. So it's really cool how they're playing it, but at the same time, for some consumers, I understand. And, this is where it comes back to the whole thing. First of all, ownership means absolutely nothing in the console war anymore. And people used to say, well, I own all platforms. I'm not a fanboy. But then you look at everything they say and everything they like and all that stuff. You're like, you're a fucking fanboy. You're just trying to have all systems and say, I'm not. At the end of the day, ownership is everything. But at the same time, ownership is everything because you don't have to fucking stress about this stuff. The amount of people that were stressing about this on social media over the last week since they announced it was official has been unbelievable. Oh, are these coming to PlayStation or not? I'm just sitting there going, I don't care.
All right.
That's the one part of ownership where I think it's really important. To say it's not an issue, and yet there are still people who have all these platforms and they're still stressing about it.
Like, what does it matter,
dude?
If you want to play it hard enough, you just
look. I love trophies. I love trophies. I prefer trophies over achievements. Now if they change achievements and it looks different and it's more appealing, hey, then so be it. But I mean, I like to earn trophies in games, but I'm not gonna just avoid playing Elder Scrolls or Fallout on Xbox because it's exclusive. I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna go play this game because I like these games.
Right? Exactly. Absolutely.
So, you're gonna want to tune in tomorrow. At some point tomorrow, Jeff Grubb said Xbox will have a presentation, a video that'll go out that'll kind of go in depth a little bit about what this means. We don't know if it's going to come out and say, hey, look, here's the games that are coming to Xbox. Here are the ones that are going multi-plat. We don't expect that, but maybe we'll get some more answers, a little bit more details of kind of an idea of which games will be making their way over. It's anybody's guess right now, you guys. And Microsoft is doing the right thing, but kind of just playing it out, see what people are saying.
Absolutely.
Get a feel for what people think about it. Don't worry about it, though.
It's
going to be okay.
Watch our socials tomorrow. If you miss it, we'll probably have some
we'll be talking about it. We'll be tweeting about it as soon as that comes out. We'll watch that video. Hopefully you guys and girls will as well. We can have a conversation about it next week if it turns out to be something really
real big, yeah,
like clear cut, or if it just continues to be gray area. You never know. It's bizarre. But we don't want to get into that too much because, again, we don't know much about it other than it's official, and we got that one statement. So,
it's a big requisition.
That's what we got on that. But now, let's get to the big story of the day.
Big story of the day.
Dude, a massive announcement today.
Ninja, rap, ninja.
We got an announcement today. It started about 8 o'clock. Agent Kinsley on Twitter. Agent Kinsley was like, hey, we kind of got a big deal to talk about.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, whatever. You're just hyping up something, some bullshit. No, it wasn't bullshit. We have a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-op brawler. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge announced today. And dude, we're gonna take a look at this trailer because this trailer is fucking dope. Let's watch this.
It's instantly like the beginning.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in the half shell. They are the world's most fearsome fighting team. The heroes in the half shell and their queen. When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut them no slack. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Splinter taught them to be ninja teens. Leonardo Raphael's cool but rude. Michelangelo's a party dude. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja
I feel that.
I love this opening game stuff. Oh, pixel art. Let's go.
Exactly.
Now
Bro.
notice here, everyone has a different running animation.
Love that. Look at that SNES goodness, baby. Look at that.
Woo!
I know, Forge. I know.
Jim McKenzie full hard on.
We saw Chrome Dome. We saw the Triceratons. Come on, like what? What?
That was fucking dope.
You said it today too. You said social media was on, and no joke. Like
It lit up,
everybody was all over this.
Yeah,
It
it was a unanimous hit. A unanimous hit review. Like everyone was fucking or reveal. It was people want Mirage. Take
all
my money.
my money, baby.
I don't care what fucking platform it's on. I'll buy it on every platform. We don't know if crossplay has been confirmed. But I will buy it on every platform because, dude, if this comes out on the Switch. Now, look, that's the other thing. They mentioned this is coming out to consoles and PC, but they didn't specifically list every console yet. So, obviously, you got to believe every console would be hit up. But I thought it was interesting that they just said to consoles and PC. They didn't really kind of delve into which systems. But, man, something like this has to be on Switch. And it obviously has to be on every fucking PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. But, Mirage says Casey Jones better be a DLC character. He was missing from the trailer. We did not see Casey Jones.
He wasn't in the first game really either.
It's valid. That's a valid point.
But that would be dope.
A little bit about this
I'm
title. We don't have a release date. It was just announced today. It was just revealed today. It's being developed in collaboration with, I think, is it Dotemu or Dotemu? I don't know how to pronounce her name, but they made some great games. They've made Streets of Rage 4, so they've got brawler skills. Windjammers 2, which is fucking sweet, by the way. If you haven't played Windjammers, that's really good. And Tribute Games, they have Mercenary Kings fame. And I don't know if you guys have played Mercenary Kings, but that is a side-scrolling platformer co-op game that is fucking awesome. And again, it's pixel art. So you basically have a collaboration between two studios who know what the hell they're doing for this style of game. And they're all huge fans of especially the 1987 animated series. They're huge fans of this.
Clearly, right?
And you can tell by the attention to detail, they're very in love with the source material. So you got to appreciate that kind of like dedication to it. You can see it. It's showing up on screen, so that's really, really cool. But Shredder's Revenge is an original adventure where up to 4 players can defend the sewers and streets in a brawler inspired by the TMNT classic, Turtles in Time.
Which is one of the all-time greatest SNES games ever in arcade games.
Pretty fucking boss. Yeah, brawler. It was really, really good. It'll have 4-player online and local co-op. So if you want to play with your friends at home, you can do that. If you want to play online, you can do that as well. Again, it draws inspiration from the 87 animated series. Obviously it's going for a nostalgic feel, but there are going to be like modern enhancements to it, so you can expect better performance, really good, really fluid combat. But no, Tone, I mean, watching this trailer, the music, you get the opening, and then you see the gameplay. I mean, it was just, this is how you fucking reveal something.
It took me fucking back. And listen, if you guys haven't ever caught on the YouTube channel, we do B&B quickies once in a while, sometimes or a couple times a year. But hey, there's a TMNT out there, Turtles in Time, that I did. I'm a huge fan of the source material, huge fan of the cartoons, the toys, you name it. TMNT for a kid, for me, was really, really huge. So I am very excited for this. And as soon as you sent it to me, I'm like, holy shit, is this 90s animation? I'm like, and then the song kicks. I'm like, is this taking place like after Turtles in Time? Is this in sequence somehow? And sure shit, it really is. And I got to tell you, like, TMNT is one of those franchises like Power Rangers that goes through different iterations and adapts in different seasons or whatever. Different places will get it. The Nickelodeon run in the last decade had a good 5 or 6 year run. That was one of the best ones since this original series.
They're involved in this, and they're involved with this as well,
which is awesome because I think they got a big hand in it. And if you're not aware, Kevin Eastman and I'm gonna forget his name, and that's terrible of me because everybody always does that and it's cliche. But they've been writing comics again over the last year or so, doing the Last Ronin stuff. So they've gotten back together as well too. Mm-hmm. Peter Laird, thank you, good God. I was totally that guy right there, and I apologize for that, Peter. But it's really exciting because Turtles is, especially with the NECA action figure line, there is a huge resurgence for TMNT anything right now. And the fact that we're dialing back to the original cartoon series.
That's awesome.
Is really exciting.
I mean, and that's where you can tell they have an appreciation for the source material. They know what people want. They know, look, and I don't want, people were making comparisons to this and what we saw from the new Battletoads. People weren't too fond of the new Battletoads in terms of its look because they're so, their love for the original look of it. Like, hey man, that's what I want to get. So a lot of people were really excited that they didn't try to modernize it in terms of its visuals. Performance wise, it'll be there, and gameplay wise, it'll be more modern. But the original look to it is spot fucking on.
And I think that is part of the allure on these things. You're
absolutely.
You're in a time where adult man-childs like me that are buying action figures and wanting to relive my childhood or never leave it.
Mhm.
You know, this is who you got to like lure into and buy your product. This is the right way to go with
This
that.
is how you bring them in.
Mhm.
Someone said a half-ass beer review asking the hard questions. Where is it at? He just asked a question. Oh, which April was the bigger babe, 1 or 2?
1 or 2? What do you mean?
Are you talking about the movies 1 and 2? Were they different?
Oh, definitely 2.
Oh yeah, okay. Movies.
Oh, yeah.
2 by far. It's not, and it's really not even close. No disrespect, but in terms of the baby-meter, if there is such a thing, I'm leaning towards 2.
Just
Dude
saying.
Hogue from the first one. Oh wow, you like the first one? It's interesting. Double Dragon
Sure.
Neon desperately needs a physical copy from Limited Run. I'm glad Scott Pilgrim vs. the World got one. Limited Run, they're just eating this shit up, man, with all these like more older titles and bringing them back and giving them a physical
Fuck it,
copy.
do it. It's great.
Hey man, if it works, it works, and it works for them. Fun fact: I live about 20 minutes from one of the Mirage Studio locations. Oh, there you go. Now we can hone in on where Al Blanco is and take him down.
He was really awesome in Umbrella Academy.
That photo, my goodness. But overall, no, really excited about this. Love the fact that it's going to have co-op, couch co-op,
Yeah.
online co-op. This will definitely find a way into the B&B community night rotation. I think
That's a good one. Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be a no-brainer. It should be a lot of fun. It should be really exciting. Again, we don't have kind of a release date or even a release window. And you know what? Take your time.
Oh yeah. No, don't rush
Take
this.
your fucking time. I know the hype is out there now. People want to get their hands on this shit. Take your time.
Yeah, we're putting fucking Chrome Dome and Triceratons involved.
Make it right.
Take your time. Those
Take
are
your
some
time,
more
make it
obscure
right.
characters. Yeah, we're gonna focus on a little bit of that. Take your time.
Take your time. No, it was really, really good. Great reveal. Got people hyped. It was really, really exciting. What's the shirt Tone has on tonight?
This is the flying spaghetti monster. He boiled for your sins.
He boiled for your sins.
Ramen.
I'll give everybody a high five if you can guess what my shirt is a reference to. All right. Now, we had something that popped up last week. We weren't able to add it into the show, but I do think it warrants a conversation because there's a lot of cool stuff here. Plus, we're fans of the movie franchise. We love Aliens. Let's talk a little bit about Aliens Fireteam.
Holy shit, dude. That's all I gotta say.
This looks pretty good. Now, when this dropped, we found out that this is being developed by Cold Iron Studios. This is basically their first title. They were formed in 2015. I'm sure they probably helped with some things, but this is their first major title, and they're working in collaboration with 20th Century Studios over at 20th Century, or what used to be 20th Century Fox, obviously, but they're collaborating with them. Give you a little insight. Cold Iron Studios has about 40 developers. They were founded in 2015 by 3 people who have extensive background working on City of Heroes, Star Trek Online, and Neverwinter. And I know you have some time in all 3 of those games.
Actually, I do have time in all 3 of those. City of Heroes was one of the earliest MMOs. I don't know if it was earliest, but one of the ones I played a lot in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Trek Online is that's a tough one. But I've dabbled in that one. But Neverwinter, I put a lot of fucking time into. So that it was early, but not earliest. Yeah, I know. 70. I had to think about my timeline there. But yeah, so that's very exciting that these guys are involved. If anything, these are in capable hands. This game is in capable hands.
And that has to be because, look, with the exception of Alien Isolation, Alien hasn't been represented particularly well in the video game space. Obviously, as good as Alien Isolation was, a lot of the titles, except for like AVP, which came out on PC like a ways back, that one was pretty well received and it was enjoyed by a lot of the fans. But there have been games, and we can have a discussion about Alien Colonial Marines by your boys over at your boy Randy Pitchford. And I don't know, did you ever play Colonial Marines?
I dabbled in it. I was very disappointed. I played. I don't know if there was a beta or a demo or something. I know I demoed it for work at one point.
I'm one of the few people that didn't hate it.
Yeah, I was. You could tell it was a typical Gearbox thing. Buy an old franchise, take the turd, a little polish, and then send it out to the folks.
Actually, this one
Duke Nukem.
This one didn't have much polish.
No,
but there were some elements to the game, especially through the story. Even though Michael Bean reportedly hated working on this game, which is really a bummer because that's Hicks, and he's a huge part of that.
why'd he hate it?
He said it was just terrible to work on.
Because of Gearbox?
He just said it was poorly managed. I believe those were the.
Oh, weird.
That's bizarre.
Weird. Well, I mean, he might have been coming from the perspective that game originally was supposed to come out in like 2011.
Yeah, it was in development.
Originally, yeah, and then it kind of moved around. And then finally, Gearbox said, "We'll make a buck," and picked it up and added a level and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, it was a rough launch, and it was there was a lot of issues with it. It was uninspired, but some of the things that I liked, it took place after I think it was after Aliens.
Yeah, it was like almost directly or not
it was
long
directly
after, right?
related to Aliens before Alien 3. And like I said, there was just some really cool nods, and you could tell that the people involved, at least the writing, were respectful of the source material. They knew, like, they built a good story on it. It was just poorly executed in just every fucking way. And that's kind of like the bummer about it, because it probably should have been a really good game. I had that pre-ordered in like 2008, 2009 at a local game store, and this is why I remember so much of the timeline, because I knew it was supposed to come out in 2011. It was supposed to come out earlier, and then got pushed around, and then 2011 was supposed to be the date, and then it just kind of faded into obscurity, and then somebody else picked it up, and then it turned out to be a total shit show and just critically panned and didn't do well. Selling wise, I mean, it was just it was a dud.
Shame.
But Aliens
yes.
Fireteam, this takes place 23 years after the original trilogy, so we're going to assume it's before Resurrection.
Right.
So this takes place after
Which
Alien
is controversial,
3.
I guess, if you like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think Resurrection belongs in the stories, but I just didn't care about it. It was like an uninspired, a quick cash grab, if you will.
Okay.
And I actually kind of lost respect for the way 20th Century Fox handled Aliens, because Alien 3, which was directed by David Lynch, he of like Seven fame, a very capable director, but at the time he had just come off of making a lot of he was doing music videos, doing a lot of that stuff, and that was like his first really big attempt at a motion picture. And 20th Century Fox they didn't give him. They were constantly getting involved.
That movie gets way too much hate. I love that movie.
Alien 3 is actually really good.
It's
I
a
like
great
Alien
fucking
3 a
movie.
lot. I mean, Charles S. Dutton is fucking awesome in that movie. And Sigourney Weaver is obviously amazing in that movie. But yeah, it got a lot of hate. It didn't review typically well. And I don't think it made that much. I mean, obviously it made a decent amount, but it wasn't considered like an Alien hit. But Alien 3 was really entertaining in my opinion. I thought it was a lot of fun. And again, it had 20th Century Fox not interfered with David Lynch and gone in there and fucked with them over and over again. It was just like, dude,
man.
Because I mean, look what the guy's done since then. Seven, The Social Network, Zodiac. I mean, the guy, he knows how to fucking direct a movie.
He knows
but
how to
unfortunately,
fucking direct.
they didn't know that at the time, and they brought him in, and then they were just like, you know what the fuck you're doing. And I really wish at some point there would be like a director's cut, because I know there's a lot of scenes that he shot that they either took out or made him reshoot.
Isn't there one in the quadrilogy or something?
I don't think there is. If there is, I missed it. I'll be pissed because I have the quadrilogy.
I'm just asking.
I'll have to check. If there is, I
could be wrong on
I
that.
feel like I would know that, but it's possibly not. It's possibly
Quadrilogy's
not.
sexy, by the way. I have it too.
But Aliens Fireteam, it's a third-person co-op shooter.
Yeah.
You can play it with up to either two other friends or run around with AI. It'll be on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, Series S, PC. It's gonna be on all those platforms.
Switch.
Just
kidding.
I have a feeling based on the gameplay that would just melt the Switch. But what information we do have, there is a 25-minute gameplay video on IGN. I was gonna pull it, but I didn't want to play it and just have them be like, "You guys can't use our shit," because I think they're doing an exclusive month-long thing with Aliens with IGN. So I don't want to like step on their toes because they're IGN.
But hey, go to IGN's YouTube and check it out.
Go check it out. It's actually, there's a lot of stuff going on, and the game looks really, really good. It looks really, really fun and exciting, intense.
Some
but
good vibes.
what stuff we do know so far, you can choose between 5 different classes. You have the Gunner, the Tech, Demolisher, the Doc, and Recon, which I'm curious how Recon's going to work. I'll be interested to see how that really evolves. But all of these class types, they can be upgraded. There's progression to each character type, so it's really, really cool. They're going to have some depth to it. It's not going to be just a run around. These characters are going to be able to be upgraded, improved upon. I'm sure you'll be able to get new gear and whatnot. All the weapons have full customization. So, there's some deep elements. It's not going to be some shallow experience. You're going to want to really spend your time with the character you want to play as and build them up.
Right.
We know the story. The game has 4 story campaigns with 3 missions each. So, decent amount, 12 stuff. But there's challenge cards that allow you to modify these missions so they play it a lot differently, which is really, really cool. I like the fact that they had that. You'll be able to go in there, change things up, so it's a different experience, change the difficulty. There's 5 different difficulty settings. So a lot of customization, not only with your characters, but also with the experience itself with every story mission. And lastly, there's no loot boxes or microtransactions.
Bingo.
That's a Butte, Clark. It's a Butte, Clark.
So Prime, yes, you said they got their roots in RPGs, which would be so all the games we listed earlier are actually MMOs.
MMOs,
so,
yep.
You're spot on that. So RPGs is definitely a good thing. I get definitely the Left 4 Dead vibes,
Absolutely.
which is great, and I do get a little Predator vibes as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Which gave off Left 4 Dead vibes. So everybody's always wanted more Left 4 Dead, anyways. And honestly, I'm pretty sure in some conversation that we've had a million conversations of, we have probably just randomly said, "Man, I wish they'd make an Aliens game like Left 4 Dead." It's been said somewhere. I know I've heard it, and I probably said it.
Basically, that whole middle section of Aliens, where they're bunkered down and they have aliens coming from all sides. You
Oh,
got Bill Paxton going,
absolutely.
they're coming out of the goddamn farm. They're coming out of the ground.
Game over, man. Game over,
man. I mean, it was rest in peace, Bill Paxton, one of the greatest ever.
RIP.
But I mean, yeah, you look at this, you look at the scenes and how you think of aliens being overrun by aliens. This makes a lot of sense. But like Prime mentioned, and you mentioned as well, these guys they have RPG in their blood. So adding in the ability to customize your weapons, adding the ability to rank up your there's progression system to all the different character classes. So you're gonna have and the challenge cards. It's almost kind of creating a natural grind. I want to go through, but to rank up these characters, I don't want to keep playing the same 12 missions.
Right.
But you don't have to because you have the challenge cards, which keeps everything fresh, makes things more difficult. Now I don't know if there's I don't know what kind of loot system there is. I don't think there's a loot system, but obviously if you play more difficult stuff, you would think you'd get more experience. You can rank your stuff up faster. So. Really, really excited. We could play zombies on Left 4 Dead,
which was really cool. And you can't play xenomorphs in this. I don't think we've seen or heard anything on that.
No, you're not. No, you can only you're playing as Colonial Marines.
So.
You're going up against 20 different enemy types, ranging from xenomorphs and Weyland-Yutani officials. So we know Weyland-Yutani is going to be a part of the
shit and facehuggers. Hopefully,
I'm sure facehuggers will be in there. But we also know that there's going to be some aliens that we know of. And we also know there's going to be some new ones that we haven't heard about.
We might get some new ones
So we got some new aliens to look forward to. But, dude, if Weyland-Yutani is involved, can we please get a synthetic Lance Henriksen?
Oh, please.
In a video. I don't care if he's not in there physically.
Right.
If I can just hear his voice playing over a communique.
Yeah.
Welcome to Weyland-Yutani. And just have Lance Henriksen. I'll be like, okay, this is...
That's all I need.
You almost have to, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You have to have Lance Henriksen involved.
Somewhere.
I'll be disappointed if he's not. He has to be in there. Dude, if you can get Lance Henriksen out for Mom and Dad with Nicolas Cage, you should be able to get Lance Henriksen out for Aliens Fireteam. This will be dropping this summer. We don't have a specific date, but we just know summer 2021 is what they're looking for.
Day one purchase.
Oh, that's a day one purchase by far. Easily by far.
No doubt.
Will this be good? I have no idea. Cold Iron Studios, this is their first real... I mean, yes, they're used to MMOs. This is a third-person shooter, more action-oriented. It sounds like they're all about making this a difficult game. It's not going to be an easy game, which I'm cool with. 5 different classes to choose from. It's going to force you to, figure out some strategy. I dig that. I'm on board for this. I'm really excited about it because obviously I love Aliens. Can they nail it? Can they nail it? Atomic says, heard anything about pre-order goodies? I don't think pre-orders are available yet. I don't think Vasquez. Oh, Vasquez.
Jesus.
I love when she slaps him and everything. Oh, man. Vasquez was you're too badass. You're too badass. I love Vasquez. But overall, no, cool. I mean, the gameplay looked really sharp.
Yeah.
Excited for it?
I'm fucking... I put it to you like this. There are about 3 or 4 different movie entrees that yearly I go through and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Alien is one of them.
Oh, yeah. You got to watch Alien, baby.
I'm a huge fan.
Huge fan. So this looks really cool. Really excited for this. Summer 2021. Don't have a date yet. We'll see what happens.
Can't wait.
Hopefully it's like summer. When does summer start? June? Or are we going to go
Michigan?
May?
Do we know?
August. We have 1 month. August to September is
Here's
all
your
we get
window.
for summer.
Changes every year.
But yes, excited about that. Time to move on to some movie. Are you doing okay?
You should probably check. Yeah, I probably should.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, guys and gals. I'm going to take a quick break. He's got to go do his thing.
Bang, bang.
If you get a chance, while you're waiting for us to come back, go over to YouTube, follow Banter and Babble over there, because then you can catch all these videos in case you missed the show. Go check that out. You can also check out the next Beer Quest. We're probably going to start planning that out very soon. Plus, all of our live streams, whether he streams or I stream, everything goes over there. So go over to the Banter Babble YouTube page, subscribe there, and then come back. And we should be back.
And
Probably not, because he takes fucking forever.
Here comes the emojis.
All right. Bring it on. And welcome back. He's done. He's good to go. Do you put herp cream on that finger before and Sorry, half-ass beer review is just a sick puppy. He's a very disturbed little individual.
Did I miss another bit this week?
Nope, you didn't miss a bit. Everything's great. Everything is wonderful. All right, moving on to movie news. Before we get into our trio of reviews, we did get a trailer last week that looked pretty fucking badass.
Yep.
Big fans of Michael B. Jordan.
Absolutely.
Big fans of Tom Clancy.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the trailer for the upcoming thriller about remorse.
Look like he got shot.
I think he did multiple times.
What we know, Senior Chief Kelly is the third member to be attacked. 3 perps are dead. Also killed was his wife.
That's a no-go.
They better hope he doesn't survive.
On his face.
Why's that?
Fucking awesome actor.
He is more dangerous and effective than any man we have in the field.
You took everything from me.
These were foreign attacks on U.S. soil.
We have to respond. I'm gonna make it right.
There's something inside of me that I can't turn off. A part of me that won't stop for anything. No remorse.
Has it occurred to you that perhaps John Kelly has done something we can't? Some situations warrant thinking outside the box.
Give me a name.
You were supposed to be dead.
Give me a name.
Woo! Yeah. April 30th, rated R, baby. All right.
Rated R. That's all I needed to see.
That is all I really needed to see. All right, so Without Remorse, dropping April 30th on Amazon Prime. This trailer was fucking dope. I want to get your initial reactions to what we saw here.
Instantly when I saw him sitting on that gurney, I'm like, I can already tell this is gonna be dope as shit. Seeing Tom Clancy in front of everything always gets me excited. If you've not watched Jack Ryan on Prime as well, shit, you're missing out. There's 2 seasons of that. It's fucking amazing.
Nope.
Whatever wallet they have to dip into some money, which is Bezos, I guess. It's pretty deep and it's very high quality. This looks very high quality.
Very high quality.
They're starting. Amazon, not to get too sidetracked, is really starting to they're starting to do the right stuff. They're starting to get their exclusives. They're not all great. There's some stinkers in there, but they're starting to really kind of find their niche in there, kind of like HBO and Netflix does with some of these movies. So again, the fact that they're able to lead with Tom Clancy with this stuff and some of the things they're doing is very exciting. This looks fantastic. Michael B. Jordan is going to be around for a long fucking time in acting. He's an amazing actor. He's got incredible range. And to have him in a lead action role like this, sign me the fuck up.
Yep. Yeah, no, this was a dope ass trailer, man. It was really, really exciting. It's really good stuff. He's playing John Clark, which is a character that has been present in a lot of Tom Clancy movies. I'm sure he's been more prevalent in a lot of Tom Clancy books. But this is Without Remorse is a book from 1993.
Wild.
It's actually the rights were bought shortly after, and this movie, I don't want to say it's been in development hell, but it's been in development for a long time, since like 94. At one point, Keanu Reeves was attached to this project to play John Clark.
Like I told you before, I swear I've heard that somewhere.
It's been coming a long ways, and finally it's here, and it's really cool that they have chosen to go with Michael B. Jordan, because obviously he's talented as fuck. He's a very good actor, but what's interesting about this is John Clark is all the other movies he's been in, played by Willem Dafoe in Clear and Present Danger, played by Liev Schreiber in The Sum of All Fears. So it's interesting that they're going with the black hair, but I think that's awesome because it doesn't matter. He's a hell of an actor. And John Clark, I think, is one of those characters where it doesn't matter
it's one of those fluid characters, kind of like a Joker.
Yes, exactly. It can be played by anybody. And when you get somebody of the talent level of Michael B. Jordan, that's really exciting, and I'm glad Amazon Prime did this, because this guy is so good. Like you mentioned, he has so much range. Willem Dafoe has a lot of range. Liev Schreiber has a lot of range. So you bring in somebody who has a lot of range, and they can just embrace that character. And yeah, this trailer was fucking dope. And I'm glad that they're exploring John Clark, because in the films that he's appeared, he's been more of a side character, because in those movies, Jack Ryan, whether it was Harrison Ford or Ben Affleck, they were always the leads. And John Clark was just kind of like the CIA operative that would help behind the scenes, do kind of the nasty work. And this is going to explore how John Clark became associated with the CIA. So it's really kind of an origin story for John Clark, which is really fucking cool. I'm really excited to see how they explore this, how they wrap him up into things. And what's really interesting about this is in 2018, when they signed Michael B. Jordan up, or when they were in talks to sign him up for this, it was a 2-picture deal. The first was Without Remorse. Second one is Rainbow Six. Now, I don't know if that deal is still in place, if that changed over time, because that was in the negotiation process. But the fact that he was going to be part of a 2-picture deal, we might see a Rainbow Six movie at some point after this, because it was supposed to be a 2-picture deal.
Gnarly.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Tom Clancy movies. I mean, I love Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. Some of All Fears was okay. It wasn't terrible, but I didn't think it was as good as the first three with Harrison Ford and Alec Baldwin in Hunt for Red October. I know there was a Jack Ryan Shadow Agent or something like that with Chris Pine and Kevin Costner. They tried to they tried to reboot the Jack Ryan character, and I didn't really care for that movie.
Well, we all know the best Jack Ryan now is
Who?
John.
Who?
I don't know. Fucking what's his name from fucking Office? I can never get it right.
Oh, John Krasinski.
He's so amazing.
Will it tie into Jack Ryan? Like, we'll acknowledge it. I don't know, because this, my understanding is,
Jim,
even
thank
though
you.
this movie is, it's coming out and it's related, it's obviously based on the '93 novel. I don't think there's gonna be too much connection to it. I mean, that'd be awesome if they did mention Jack Ryan, but I feel like John Clark is a character that we've seen him enough in Clear and Present Danger, where you're like, man, this guy's kind of badass. He's very mysterious, but he's a fucking, like, a trained killer. Like, Willem Dafoe is good as him, as John Clark in Clear and Present Danger, but Leo Schreiber, you kind of get to see the nasty side, like the shit that he's, like I said, he's always going in undercover, going behind the scenes, taking out people. I mean, it's it's a stark contrast from what you see with Jack Ryan, who's more of an analyst. He's more of like the intelligence analyst, where John Clark does the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, when you see this trailer, it makes a lot of sense. Like, yes, this is going to be a John Clark flick, because he's in there fucking people up. He's a trained killer. Like, this is what he does. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. This could be a lot of fun.
Very fucking exciting, and I love the fact that Amazon is leaning into the Tom Clancy books or whatever it is, and throwing money and saying, make something. I mean, because all those movies you list are still good movies. You can watch most of those movies. Yeah. It's still good shit, but being able, now we're getting a little bit of refresher, maybe a reboot, and kind of like trying to lean a little bit into that source material, a little bit more serious. That's exciting.
And I like that they're exploring some of the, I don't want to say more the smaller characters, but the like you said, when the Tom Clancy movies were really big, again, Hunt for Red October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, the focus was so much on Jack Ryan. Even the Jack Ryan series obviously is there, but now you realize there is more to this universe than just Jack Ryan, and John Clark is going to be a focal point going forward, especially if there's a 2-picture deal. If we can get Rainbow Six in there and John Clark's in that, that's fucking wild.
I got to guess, and I'm going to throw this out there.
Isn't the Division Tom Clancy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So my wonder is, possible that maybe Amazon is kind of building like a Tom Clancy MCU kind of thing going on, because with this, there's no reason why you couldn't get into Jack Ryan.
Right. I mean, at some point, like you said, even if you just, that's, and I think who is in it? It's, gosh, who are the people? Jake Gyllenhaal is one character, and Jessica Chastain is the other. Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Jake. Those are the two that are tied to that. So I mean, if they want to build up on the Tom Clancy stuff and dig more into that, like the espionage and that spy thriller shit, that is right up my fucking alley, dude. I love Tom Clancy shit. I'm on board for this. This movie looks awesome. Comes out next month. At the end of the month, April 30th, Amazon Prime. I know we're going to watch it. We'll definitely talk about it then.
Maybe talk about doing a watch party. Atomic mentioned that might be something we could plan up. That might be something really sweet, man.
I like where Atomic's head's at. Yes, we will do a watch party.
Maybe like a Friday night or a Saturday night or something.
I think we should definitely do a watch party for that.
I'm into that.
I think that could be a lot of fun. So, without remorse, looks exciting. We'll be checking it out.
Very hyped.
All right, now we have a trio of movies that we wanted to review. There were 3 cool movies. 2 of them we were expecting. One of them was last second, and I think we really dug it. But first of all, let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about the big title that dropped last week. Hakeem Jaffa, last name escapes me. Coming to America. The sequel. Coming to America. Sequel to a 30-plus year comedic gem. One of the great comedies of the 80s. And judging by social media, this was a polarizing title. There were some people that loved it. There were some people that didn't love it. I want to get your initial thoughts. Coming to America.
It felt very dated, and I found myself struggling to laugh. Now, is it an enjoyable movie? It's enjoyable. I mean, it's good. It's fine. But you can tell that there was a lot of, I think you said it before the show that made sense to me. Pulled a lot of punches.
Yep.
It could have been a little bit more raunchy. I don't know if Eddie's in that role anymore. I don't know if he cares about that kind of comedy.
Yeah, I think
shot comedy.
There's a point to being there. I think there's a good point.
It was not special. It was kind of forgettable.
Mhm.
I
It
probably
is
won't
forgettable.
watch it again, and it's kind of a bummer because like the people that were involved right out the gate in the original movie are some, of course back then that was big names.
Mm-hmm.
Now maybe not so much, but like for me, like I told you, I know it's a kind of obscure thing to say, but I watched a lot of Arsenio Hall growing up, so I love Arsenio Hall.
Oh, yeah.
So I was excited. A lot of everybody's going to say, "Oh, I was excited. Eddie Murphy's got a new movie." Blah blah blah. Well, I'm excited. Well, there's some more Arsenio Hall involved as well too, and the bit with him and stuff like that, especially with James Earl Jones, I thought was always fun. So, I just like listen, the acting is good in it. I feel like Wesley Snipes was kind of like the breakout. Like you didn't know what to expect out of him, and he definitely took it serious. Like
it was an unexpected turn by Wesley Snipes because you're so used to him playing like gritty characters and more like I don't want to say serious, but more just like intense characters.
Intense is a great word.
And
for
he
it.
is almost borderline campy in this show, but it's done to where it's effective because it's Wesley Snipes.
Right, and it works. And like I told you, I saw him in an interview talking about playing that character, and he generally in the interview seemed to be having a good time being involved and doing something.
Absolutely.
Like
He's committed to the role. Like,
which he was committed to the role. Again, yes, perfect. So a lot of it was great. There was a lot of good stuff going on. It's just that the story seemed like it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, I get what they were going for, but like you had guys like Tracy Morgan in it, super underutilized.
Yeah,
like,
way
listen, if you got
underutilized.
Tracy Morgan on board, if you've seen
I
30
agree with
Rock
that.
at all, or SNL even, he should be taking up a lot of screen time.
But
He really wasn't.
I think that's difficult in this type of movie because you do have so many prolific actors.
You're absolutely right.
You can only give so many people so many opportunities, but I think it was he was definitely underutilized and underwritten.
Right, yeah, he had opportunity where he could have like even if it would have just been better jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would have been
yeah.
so much better for Leslie Jones was she was funny. Like Leslie Jones is she's one of these people who's like either she's really funny and she's not super funny. Like
Right.
she's
it's all based on the material. It's all based on the material they're given.
She was and like I found her to be one of the more entertaining characters in it because she was being over the top Leslie Jones and that fucking worked for the character she was playing. I wanted more Tracy Morgan. I wanted more. I really, really, really felt like Eddie Murphy was very, very he felt held back to me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a bummer.
And I feel like part of that, obviously, yes, and somebody mentioned he's a family man now, but I mean, that doesn't excuse Adventures of Pluto Nash. Okay. I understand he's a family man and he's got kids and they want to watch the movie. Yeah. Have them watch fucking Shrek. But damn it, we didn't need Adventures of Pluto Nash, and we definitely did not need a PG-13 Coming to America. Look, Coming to America, the original, is a classic from the 80s, and make no mistake, it was raunchy as fuck.
Absolutely.
But it was smart raunchy. It was entertaining raunchy because of all the different characters that Arsenio and Eddie played. It was an incredibly raunchy movie. That's what makes it work because it's a good story too. The story of Prince Akeem and everything that he has to go through, finding his love and all that stuff. It's a great story, but it was raunchy.
Yeah.
It was gritty. And you know what we talked about before the show? These types of movies, it's difficult for them to get made now because everyone's so quick to get offended by stuff. There's some really hard-hitting stuff in Coming to America, but it's funny. It was awesome then. Hard to make, boom. Cancel culture makes it incredibly hard for some of these movies to get back to what they were in the 80s. It's incredibly difficult. I love everybody that's in here. The things I like about the movie, you get to see a lot of the characters that were fucking awesome. Dude, I was telling my wife, as we're watching this, I'm like, if I don't see fucking Randy Watson in this movie, I'm going to break everything in this house. And finally, when they were like, when the preacher was up there, he was like, we got a special guest, a special musician. I was like, here we go. Right. Sexual chocolate, baby. Just give me sexual chocolate. That's all I really wanted to see. I wanted to see all the characters. The barbershop guys were hilarious. All those characters were fucking awesome.
Yeah, the characters they played were the best parts.
But even then, the characters are holding back a little bit. They can't be the characters that I remember. You know what I'm saying? They are iconic characters that these guys made that were so funny because they were raunchy, because they spoke freely and they said, real shit. Now it was just like, man, this seems like a fucking family comedy, obviously teetering on the line there. And I was just like, They're pulling a lot of punches, and it's just not. It was cool to see everybody there. I'm glad to see everybody that they got involved. I mean, everybody was in this. Basically, everybody from the original, with the exception of Sam Jackson. Obviously, you want to bring his character back.
And somebody mentioned too, but yeah.
But
yeah.
Daryl wasn't in there. Solo Glow Daryl. But Family to America. There you go. But like everybody else made it in. John Amos was back. Cleo McDowell. He had his bit going. That was really funny. Louis Anderson was back in there. I mean, and
there was a lot of good stuff.
Everybody was there, and I dig it. Even the no Enrique Iglesias. We didn't get Daryl. I mean, how did we not get Daryl? That's a huge miss. That's a huge blow. I don't know why we didn't have. I don't think he died. I think he's still alive. Didn't get Eric LaSalle. So no Cuba. I was kind of hoping Cuba would be sitting in the barber chair, but he wasn't there. I was like, damn it. That was a missed opportunity. Had he not been sitting in the bar,
I didn't even fucking think about that.
Dude, that's the first thing I thought when I went to the barber chair. I was like, who's sitting in the chair? Is it going to be a cameo? It would have been awesome to have like a cameo of a big-time actor sitting there, just no lines or very little lines, and move on. But no Cuba Gooding Jr., which was really disappointing. Again, missed opportunity. But overall, like you mentioned before, it was entertaining to a degree. There were some good bits in there. It was cool to see some of the characters, but by no means. And one of the characters, the son, joked about it in the movie. He said, he's talking to the girl that he likes, and he's like, "You like American cinema?" And he's like pointless this and that, pointless and that. And he's like, in sequels to movies that are 30 years old that nobody asked for. I mean, the self-awareness was there, but that's basically what this movie was. It was cool. It was funny to see everybody, but it doesn't even come remotely close. It doesn't even come remotely close to the first one. And then, I mean, I'm being honest with you, when I saw the trailer, I didn't expect it to. And when I saw the PG-13 rating, I knew it wasn't going to even come close.
Yeah.
No way.
I probably, and this will hit King Cuddles, I actually marked out some of the most in that flick when like SWV and Salt and Pepper came out.
That was dope.
Like,
I
thought I was
En
really...
Vogue was there. I was like,
yeah,
yes.
Was it SWV or was it En Vogue?
It was, I know En Vogue showed up at some point.
Yeah, whoever, yeah. No, my bad.
But and then I love how you had the two twins who were like at the club. It's like everybody wants to touch my breast. I was like, oh my!
Yeah.
I mean, they brought everybody back that they could. I mean, it was really, really
En
cool.
Vogue, yeah, my bad.
It was really cool how they did that stuff. I just wish it would have been a true Coming to America sequel. But at the same time, man, after watching the original, I would have never guessed. Even 2 years later, we would get a sequel. Let alone Peaches and Cream. There you go, Peaches and Cream. I would have never expected something like this 30, 40 years down the line. I just feel like it was kind of a whatever type of moment. It's forgettable at best.
Yeah.
And the first one will always be the pinnacle for me.
I think it's a slippery slope when you're doing the things that they're doing. It's a hard take to do something like this. 6 out of 10 as a standalone. I think that's pretty accurate. A pretty fucking accurate.
I don't know if Cuddles was running a bit, but I think he's right. 6 out of 10 is a standalone movie. 3 out of 10 compared to the original.
I
feel like that's incredibly accurate.
That's a fair way, yeah.
I feel like that's incredibly accurate. It doesn't hold a candle. It was just kind of like a snapshot. What's everyone been up to? Here they are, and we're done here. But I mean, could have been better. Absolutely. PG-13 rating held it back. Some of the writing wasn't all that great. Some of the bits weren't very good. And like you said, when you underutilize Tracy Morgan, you're making a mistake. So, moving on to our next movie. This one, Wawa-weewa.
Wawa-weewa. Yeah.
This is a Wawa-weewa. Now, if you thought Coming to America was polarizing on social media, this movie is really divisive. It's really difficult to get people to get on the same page and agree on anything. ICareALot dropped, I think, 2 weeks ago on Netflix. It stars Rosamund Pike, Peter Dinklage, and Diane Wiest. And I watched this last night, you guys, and this movie is so unique. I want you to start off. Tell me your initial thoughts. I want to see what you think because I feel like we're on the same boat with stuff. But this title, it's a movie where it starts off. Let's back up a little bit. When you think of movies, the basic premise is you have a protagonist and an antagonist, whether it's a person, a group of people, or an ideal. Those are your staples of any movie. Your pillars, your foundation. Protagonist, antagonist. You watch this movie and immediately you realize there's a lot of shitty people in this movie.
It's like a lot of shitty people. Yeah.
And it's at times you're watching this and you're asking yourself, is this movie painting this character as a protagonist? Because I fucking hate her. She's a terrible person. But it's a dark comedy thriller that is proving to be very divisive if you go on social media and read what people have to say about it. I want to get your thoughts on it. First and foremost, your thoughts overall on the movie.
I really, really like this movie, and I really don't know how or why, honestly. I think the reason I liked it so much is because it was very unpredictable. Nothing at all. If I had zero expectations going in this movie, it was completely juvenile in that aspect because I didn't know what to expect from it.
Mm-hmm.
The title of it is very deceptive, for one, and very deceptive. And I'm thinking it's going to be maybe kind of like a feel-good, kind of maybe like, there's some bad stuff, but a feel-good. No, it was definitely a lot of fucking all over the fucking place. Like, right out the get for me, and you're going to hear this word again later, but the word uncomfortable came to mind at the beginning.
Very uncomfortable.
It made me like the way this person. She is like you predator.
Rosamund
prey.
Pike is the main.
She is a fucking
main
predator.
Figure. Yeah,
and
a
like
lioness,
a vile fucking evil human. And there are aspects of, and it kicks off right away. And when you get to the point after you get through some of the initial introduction, and really honestly, even in the court thing, you can't tell who's the good or bad at that point. And it comes full circle clearly at the end.
Oh yeah.
But you can't tell in that court hearing at the beginning. You don't realize yet. You don't know, but then you see this. You see kind of like a hint of a smirk.
Oh yeah.
So you're like, well, okay, we'll see what's going on. Then when she gets to Diane Wiest and how that entire thing plays out before you know
just to give you guys the gist of the movie is Rosamund Pike is a home health care associate or whatever you want to call it. And basically what she does is she takes on elderly folks who are incapable of taking care of themselves, and she acts as the ward, or they are
between
the ward,
like
and she's the legal guardian
from the state or whatever it is.
Yeah, she manages their money and their properties and all this stuff, but she is very manipulative and she's very conniving, and she's basically milking these people of their money. You know, she pays for certain things, but she milks some of their pensions, and she does it because she has found loopholes in the American healthcare system, the legal system, and she uses that to her advantage to take advantage of elderly people, and that's what, like Tom mentioned, it makes it very uncomfortable because you see what she's doing right away, and Diane Wiest is so good at portraying, average Joe American elderly person who is confused by what's going on, and you sense that you're like, man, this sucks, like, because she's legitimately confused.
Yeah, it makes you feel like shit because she's generally the entire time, like, again, uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable, and then you start to see a lot how Rosamund Pike's character really is.
Oh, yeah.
That all of a sudden, like, once that's taken care of, the door just fucking kicks open, and all of a sudden she's just rolling with it.
Mm-hmm.
And man, oh man, and from there, boy, she doesn't even realize the client she now has, who that links to.
Oh yeah, karma came around real hard. And by the time you get to the end of this movie, I feel like I've gone there's some campy stuff, and I know we're going to talk about that shortly, but there's some real up and downs, like an emotion while you're watching this, because like you said, you don't know who are you rooting for in this fucking movie, because then you get to see the real Diane Wiest as well too. Mm-hmm. Diane Wiest, look, I'll be the first to say, Rosamund Pike deserved the Golden Globe she got for this movie. She's fucking incredible in this movie, you guys. I loved her in Gone Girl, but she is even more effective in this movie because you're just like, she is a fucking monster. Okay,
She's
like that smile. It's
that
just
she's deadpan.
She
sometimes.
is really, really
it's
just good in this
unreal.
movie. She's very effective. Peter Dinklage is very effective. He's a good complement to her very manipulative, like I said, conniving ways. He is a more subdued performance, but there's a lot of anger built up, and it's really, really like an impressive performance from him as well. But man, do not underestimate and underappreciate Diane Wiest in this movie. Look, Diane Wiest has always portrayed a lot of like loving characters and sweet characters.
Yeah,
you think of Edward Scissorhands. She's the mom. You think of Parenthood with Steve Martin. Can we get rid of Can't stand that shit. Black.
Hey, Cuddles, will you block and delete that, please? Thank you.
Peter Dinklage had the mom in the birdcage. Yes, she's the mom in the birdcage. I mean, she has always played like these very sweet, naive characters. But again, without getting into spoilers, Diane Wiest needs to. I actually want Netflix to create a spinoff and explore Jennifer Peterson's past, because she is an absolute sinister person in this movie, which is such a departure from how you would normally see Diane Wiest.
Right. And she's put through a lot of bullshit unfairly
Early on, but then you realize, she's not
and
as
who
defenseless
knows?
as you think.
Yeah, and who knows? Like, you just don't even fucking know. Peter Dinklage is very subdued in some way in his acting, and the thing about that makes it so great is that clearly, like, he showcases that emotion and rage, but he is so charismatic.
Yes, he is.
That he can handle that.
He can do
And-
all.
and-
He's very animated with his facial expressions,
Right.
And it's just all really, really good.
Like, yeah, for you want everybody wants more Tyrion from him, but the thing about him and what you understand when you understand him or just acting, I think in general from watching a movie like this, is that he's way above. I mean, he's above just being like charismatic Tyrion.
Yes,
The guy's an amazing actor,
Yep.
and he really, I feel like, even though he's more subdued, I feel like it kind of showcases that as well too. So
yeah, and and Tom mentioned there are overall, it's funny because Cuddle said had one of the best endings ever. I will say that the movie does have a protagonist, but they only show up twice in the movie, maybe 3 times. But there is a protagonist, but it's not who you expect it is, and you might not think about it at first, but at the end, yes, they are the protagonist, and there you have it. But everyone else is just a shitty person in this movie, and it's just it was just a real eye-opening experience, because just like there are so many bold choices going on here, and again, it's a hard movie to watch. There are going to be people who are going to watch this and be like, oh, they're trying to portray her as a protagonist, and she's manipulating and taking advantage of older women. Cool, that I can understand that perspective. I didn't see it like that. This is a dark comedy. It's a dark thriller comedy, and yes, she's a shitty person, but at the same time, I don't think they're actively trying to make her the protagonist. I think they're trying to create the illusion that she feels like she's the protagonist.
yeah,
There's moments where she's trying to validate her decisions and explain why she's doing what she's doing and see it in a different light. But at the end of the day, no, she's not a protagonist. She's a horrible person, just like everybody else in the movie.
just
Ryan
like
says she's
everybody
hot,
else in the
so
movie.
it's okay. I'd let her slap me. I would let her beat the shit out of me too. Rosamund Pike is a 10. She's a very wonderful person.
I had to remind you last night where she got her get, and that was actually
I did not know she was a Bond girl.
She was a Bond girl.
Died another day. But I mean, it's hard to be remembered when Halle Berry
I
is your
understand.
main Bond girl.
But
Rosamund Pike is no slouch.
Yep. I actually was pretty surprised that you didn't know that because you're a Bond guy too.
Honestly, I remember watching it back in the day, and that was not one of my favorite Bonds.
I know. I'm the
Honestly,
rarity. I actually like that Bond.
Outside of GoldenEye, I wasn't a big Pierce Brosnan guy to begin with.
I feel like his movies weren't as strong, but besides GoldenEye, Die Another Day is my second favorite of his. The end.
I can go. I can
Mostly
see
because of the V12 Vanquish. I'm gonna put that out there.
It's all about the fucking. It's all
It's
about the
that
Aston Martin.
fucking Aston Martin, bro.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes a lot of
See,
sense.
if any, the sexiest person in that movie wasn't a person; it was a car.
But you mentioned earlier there were some goofy scenes in this movie that kind of took away from it, especially in the second half of the movie. We won't get into spoilers, but there's a couple of instances where you're just like, okay, I get it, she's a monster, but she's not a superhero. There were some, bizarre choices that I didn't quite understand why they tried to make things so elaborate. Where she could have been simply dealt with in another way, and just it was just there were just certain things where I was like, okay, this it's losing kind of its appeal. Not of its appeal, but it's just like, okay, you're kind of moving away from what makes the show so interesting. But yeah, there's a couple of scenes later on. Again, we won't get into spoilers that are just kind of like, okay, it's kind of a stretch.
You wanted to show resilient and strong, all that jazz. It totally makes it, but in any given scenario, any person would be hard to make it through those kind of scenarios, just generally.
It really would. So, I mean, you got to suspend disbelief here and there. But, I mean, at the same time, it was just kind of like, there's that fine line, she's not a superhero. She's not like this trained militia person or military person or anything like that. But some exceptions made, but ultimately, when the movie wraps up, you're just like, I didn't feel like I wasted my time. I felt like I got to witness 3 really memorable performances.
Yeah.
3 really great performances from a lot of top tier actors and actresses, and it was just like, it was very entertaining. And I hope you guys and girls get a chance to watch it.
Definitely got to watch it.
Candy Corps, watch it. It's
awesome.
It's 2 hours of just guilty pleasure. You're just like, God, these people are terrible, and I hope they get their comeuppance. You don't know who. You're not rooting for anybody because they're all just terrible people.
Yeah, they're all shitty.
But overall, very, very, very good flick, and I definitely think you guys and girls should definitely check it out. It's available right now on Netflix. Go check it out. 2 hours of just guilty pleasures. Good stuff.
Thumbs up.
Moving on to our third and final movie. Thank you guys so much for the subscription, man. We appreciate you.
All
We
the
appreciate you. Now, look,
follows,
also,
subs, thank
damn
you.
it, when you subscribe, you have the opportunity to call into the show and discuss with us, share your thoughts on any of the topics that we're talking about. So next week, and we'll talk about at the end of the show what we're going to be talking about next week, we want to get you guys and girls to call in. All you have to do is come on, share your thoughts, share your perspectives. We want you to do that. If you subscribe to the channel, that's one of the perks. And there's many of you that have subscribed. We want to get you on here so you can talk to us and share your thoughts. Please. We've had 6-Piece Nug on here. We've had Tricky Region on here. They brought some... See, he thought he knows it was fun.
He knows it's fun. He knows
it's a lot of fun to get on here and just share your stuff, man. It's a good... I'm going to call in and say some out-of-pocket shit, like mostly about Ton. And you know what?
I expect
that. I'm not opposed to it, bro.
Yeah. And here, 2 ways to do that. You've already gotten step 1, which we appreciate, which is subbing.
Yep.
Join the Discord, which he's going to show you here in a second.
Yep.
And make sure that when you join Discord, your Discord account is linked to
your
Twitch.
Twitch account. That's the most important thing.
That is the most
important It's super
thing.
easy. Go into your connections, link it to your Twitch account. You're good in. I tried to call in, but they blocked me on. You know why that is, Cuddles. Those late night calls I get from you. There's a reason you're blocked,
Thank
buddy.
you, King.
Anyways, moving on to the final movie before we get to the big topic of the night. Let's talk about the horror movie that we stumbled across. If you guys and girls like creepy, effective horror movies, check out The Vigil. The Vigil is a very uncomfortable, disturbing,
There it is again.
effective
Yeah.
horror movie. Effective horror movie. Basically, goes around a Jewish tradition where if somebody passes away, they have somebody come in that is a shomer. It's somebody who sits with the body until it's...
Read Psalms.
Yep. And they basically sit there and protect the body from evil spirits. That's what they do. They sit there and protect the evil body from evil spirits.
Evil.
The next morning, the mortuary comes over and picks up the body. Your job is done. The shomer is done. A little bit of a twist with this movie, though. It's not as simple as just sitting through the night with a corpse. You find out about another a Jewish tradition or another Jewish, I would say not tradition, but more of a mythos or what's the word I'm looking for? Where it's
Urban Tale?
Urban Tale. There you go. The Massacre, which is a demon that feeds off of people's trauma. Broken people, particularly. If they've been broken due to some traumatic experience, it feeds off of that.
Yeah.
And
Bigly.
our friend here, he has to he's had a rough past. We understand what's gone on with him, and we understand his pain and suffering. He sits in through the night. The Massacre is like, hey, I need someone else to fuck with for the next 30, 40 years. You look good. But before we won't get into everything there, but it is a very effective horror movie. It's pretty much a one-man show. Dave Davis, he plays the shomer, and he's really good in this movie. Like I never heard of this guy before. I've seen he's been in some stuff that is played here in the States, but he's been mostly overseas. This guy is really, really good. And it's every platform now. It should be on everything. It's on iTunes. You should be able to rent it or buy it wherever.
You can rent it on Prime for like $6 or $7.
Yeah, I think it's like it's not too bad for a rental. But overall, I mean, you guys, it takes place in a house. It's a low budget type of horror film. It's low budget, but it's effectively shot. It's
shit.
very, very well
Right.
shot. The direction is great. The pacing is good. It's creepy, and it has a cool ending where you're kind of like, what was that? Who was that? Is that it or what? It leaves things open for a possible sequel, but overall, a very effective horror movie. Like it's got a nice balance of jump scares, There's a couple jump scares here and there, but for the most part, it's all about the imagery. It's all about what you see, the visuals, and it's very, very creepy.
It's very psychological.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of metaphor here for mental health as well too.
Absolutely, yes. Trauma and everything.
Very, very, yeah. You
Yep.
know, and man, there's some scenes in them that are like again uncomfortable. Like I know we each have a scene where like there's two scenes that kind of go together, and one part is hard for you and one part's harder for me. Like you just even thinking about it, it's like nails on a chalkboard, and that even just makes me want to cringe. And fucking holy hell, there's a scene, the stairwell scene, and then she's standing right there.
Oh yeah,
dude,
yeah,
fucking creep. Like I got goosey bumps now just thinking of that. It's a creepy fucking movie. It's shot in a fucking 2-story house.
Yep.
Most of this movie
Yep.
on a fucking budget,
Yep.
and it's PG-13, and it's creepier than some of the
that's
fucking.
the thing. Yep, that's the most
That's a
impressive
fucking
thing.
wild thing to fucking
Yep.
think about. It's PG because you know how I feel about PG-13
In horror
movies when it comes to horror
especially
movies.
horror movies, absolutely. Yep.
I've got, and I'm telling you what, y'all, this is a creepy fucking uncomfortable movie. You need to watch it ASAP.
Yep.
And I want to hear how uncomfortable it makes you feel. Comment, and if you're on YouTube, comment, DM us, talk to us in Discord. I want to know what everybody else thinks about this because are we crazy? Because I'm telling you, this shit was fucking creepy and left me uncomfortable. Like after I was done, I felt fucking like my skin was crawling just from watching this fucking movie.
It's
and
a very creepy film.
It was like even the tale of the is it Masick?
Massic.
Okay, it gives me remnants of other types of horror movies. It's a very simple concept. They don't dive too deep into it because it's not necessary.
Right.
It's just the perfect amount, and then the reveal in the husband's how that entire thing.
Yeah,
was
you
set up.
understand how the mask got attached.
All
to
of that
him?
was
Yeah.
fucking. It was set up. It's very well done all around. Story, everything.
It's really, really good. You guys
Too
go.
many
And
fucks.
if you're on the Discord, go over to the movie trailers. I posted the trailer in there. You can get a look at it. And I can assure you, if you're into horror films or if you're into creepy environments, atmospheric horror films, this will definitely it'll scratch that
It's
itch.
easy to fail at these kind of movies with this, and that's why
Very.
I'm so excited about it. It's very easy to fail at these atmospheric horror films. This does
It's
above and
almost
beyond.
claustrophobic to a degree as
Oh,
well because all the shots are
abso-fucking-lutely.
really tight. All the environment, all the areas that he goes, it's a very claustrophobic feeling movie. And
Yup.
it's just again effectively shot, and just a huge fan of this movie. So definitely check it out. Before we move to the last topic,
Absolutely.
oh for Pete's sake, sorry you guys, one more pee break, and then we're on to WandaVision. Should be a good discussion. We'll be right back.
Buckle up.
Buckle the fuck up. Wait, where'd it go?
Let's
Oh, there
go.
it is.
I'll go right here.
Right
Where's
back?
the
No!
puppy pad?
Knock it off.
Puppy
God,
pad.
you're so immature. And we're back.
What everybody miss?
Nothing. We're good.
Don't lie to everybody.
No, we weren't talking.
You should be honest.
We weren't talking any shit. We're not like that.
No, what'd you do though?
I didn't do anything.
You're a liar.
I'm just enjoying my beer.
Mm-hmm. How much of that beer's left?
Well, what's not on the table or on the floor anymore since I knocked the damn thing over. Anyways, yes, finally, Crash. He's done pissing, and
Finally,
we're
yes.
on to the final topic of the evening: the series finale and review of WandaVision. We got our final episode, and it didn't disappoint. I feel like it wrapped up things nice and neat. I know you have a lot of things you want to say about it, but overall, I'm just going to say I really enjoyed WandaVision. I enjoyed the way they made this show. It wasn't your typical MCU type of production.
Right.
It was a risky approach to MCU. It was a risky project, and it delivered in spades. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. It was. It brought me back to like we talked about before, man. Being able to watch these shows that are so thought provoking, that are so mysterious and where they're going, and having it on a weekly basis. I can't tell you how fun it's been to sit there and hop on YouTube and go to Screen Crush and go to all these other videos where people are theorizing what's going on and trying to figure out what's good, as opposed to dropping everything at once. It was just a very exciting, fun experience. It paid off. It hit all the notes I needed it to hit. And, kudos to Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, I love Paul Bettany, but if Elizabeth Olsen does not get nominated at some point for this series, it'll be an absolute fucking travesty. She has an absurd amount of range. I mean, when you look at the Marvel movies in the first three phases, they were very fortunate to have somebody like Robert Downey Jr. And I'm not taking away anything from all the other actors that are in this in the Marvel universe, but I mean, there's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of accomplished actors, but I feel like Elizabeth Olsen could be that Robert Downey talent for the next phase of MCU,
And no one knew.
And it's incredible. I mean, she is so good. She's so effective. She has so much range. She can be funny. She can be sad. She can be filled with anger. I mean, she does it so well, and she transitions from all these emotions so effortlessly. And I'm just a huge fan. She played emotion and
Every decade. There you go. She played the decade.
Oh, absolutely.
It was unreal.
Yeah, she hit the tone of the sitcom she was in. As far as he doesn't get an award, it was just it was a phenomenal series. I was a huge fan of it. I look forward to what they do with Wanda going forward. Obviously, I think she's going to be a massive part of Phase 4 going on. Obviously, I mean, when you look at what she has evolved into at the end of the series from the beginning, and from everything we've seen in the first couple phases of the movies, she's going to be an integral part of of MCU going forward. And man, what a fucking talent to have!
Yeah, absolutely. Man, like, I go back to the first couple episodes and we look back and the people that were, we always say it around here. I feel like that people these days want to intake very easy to swallow stories that don't challenge their thoughts, not thought provoking. Yeah, and when it's not what they want or theorize or easy to intake, they're in uproar about it. And people at first were really confused what was going on here, and it was just about being patient because again, we're used to that binge culture with Netflix or everything else that started all this stuff, right? And we got back to that kind of series by series where it's like I told somebody one time about some of this media lately in games, including Last of Us 2 being one of those. When you go to the bookstore, do you buy the book and then read the last couple pages and the ending? No, you don't do that. That's not how that works. you know, and sure, things might not always turn out how you want, but that doesn't matter because that's not your vision, technically, no
Right.
pun intended. And here we are. We got the show that, like you said, took a chance, was ambitious. They picked. You're absolutely right. Like, who knew that Elizabeth Olsen would be this kind of range? Now we can look back and say, well, her sisters clearly fit in the sitcom world. That's great. But did we expect that at Elizabeth?
I saw a little bit in Godzilla. I thought she was really good in Godzilla.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
I
And
thought
that's
she,
kind of an
she
interesting.
overshadowed pretty much everyone in that movie.
Oh,
I thought
she
was
definitely
really good.
did. Aside Bryan Cranston.
And Brian, even, I would even say she held her own with Bryan Cranston. in the
That's
scene she was in.
very fair.
I thought she was incredible, and I mean, she was really, really good in Godzilla.
Yeah.
But this is like next tier talent here.
This, yeah, and like the decade play out with the emotions and being able to fit into those decades and fit into like the Malcolm in the Middles, the Modern Families, the Dick Van Dyke style shows, the Bewitched, like being able to mold herself into those, and not only being able to do that, but acting like it fit. Like, honestly, if the first episode of WandaVision was really filmed in the 50s, I believed it. And I'm coming from a guy that loved watching those old shows in Syndicate as a kid. You know, she made you believe it. It worked so well. Now, we take this crazy special sauce, this idea of how they're telling the story, and I think the reason they wanted to package it like the way they did was to, when you got to the end, kind of understand so many different layers of really that character.
Sure.
Because the character, as we've talked about here in the actual comics, comes from a very, very crazy background and a very, very powerful background.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of, because of partly, I think, Fox, they kind of had they had to keep her kind of restrained to some degree.
Yep.
And now that Marvel has Fox back, it's time to just kind of fucking take those chains off and just let it go. But from a MCU standpoint too, to be able to introduce the Fox properties, this is a good way to funnel that through as well. So we got this powerful character that we can tell a story in a unique way. We've got our streaming service. There's a lot going on here, and kudos to, again, those involved, whoever had the vision, this to put it together the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, at this point, this is going to be a character that is definitely going to help kind of shape Phase 4.
Sure.
And we already know about her being kind of a co-star in Doctor Strange 2. We already know that, you know, the Multiverse of Madness is what it's called, and it's going to hopefully kind of tie in a lot of the new properties that they've gotten back as well too, but also probably form some of their next villains into the actual, you know, like the Thanos, the big one. But Feige said they were going to use the Disney Plus TV series more to kind of shape everything else, and then maybe they'll do a movie later down the road. So
Sure.
That's why this was so important. This is really the first big one since the prior phases that we've gotten able to get to, and this is going to be kind of our launching pad. So, what did I love about this series? Really, let's talk mostly about the finale and kind of the last end of it, because we've talked about so much of the series. The White Vision was very, very interesting,
Yes,
and how they went
saw
from
that at the end of episode 8. Yep.
Yep. And we're gonna come back to some of you guys' comments. So you
I'm
guys are
keeping
flying
track of
out
them.
there.
I'm
So
keeping track of them.
yeah. There's a lot of good stuff out there. We appreciate you guys. The White Vision was very awesome. Listen, a lot of the storyline took from some of the comic stuff and maybe just put a little twist of them. There's a lot of iconic scenes that they kind of did pace by pace. The White Vision definitely was handled in the same way kind of in the comics that this was too. It was reformatted by the government, and he was kind of like soulless or whatever like that. Now we saw at this point that, you know, especially that debate that he had with the actual Vision.
That was awesome. That debate.
It was a very good analogy. He was talking about the Theseus, I want to say, the old boat. If it's in a museum and the wood is rotting, and you replace the wood every year for the rotting wood with new wood, is it still the same boat? You know, so either Vision isn't really actual Vision, you know, are they anymore? You know, right? And now you got Vision, who takes his essence and put it into the newer version of
uploads himself.
Yeah,
to it,
more
so
or
to
less
speak.
uploads them into him, and then he kind of takes off out of nowhere. So that's going to be in the back burner for now, and who knows will that's come full circle.
I'm just glad, because that basically cements Paul Bettany, it cements Vision as being an integral part.
Which I
going
think
forward
is
at
a
some
lot
point.
of, yeah, that honestly, like, if any takeaway from it, that's a great takeaway from it, just generally. Like, I didn't want to see Paul Bettany get pieced out. Like, listen, I was introduced to Paul Bettany from A Knight's Tale, like many of us, and I've been a fan of Paul Bettany since. Like, You can shit on Legion all you want, but Legion's a crazy fucking wild movie. I fucking love the movie. There's a small cult following out there of us that love that movie. I'm one of those guys. Paul Bettany plays in all these small crazy roles. Wasn't he in Tom Hanks fucking Da Vinci Code? Was he in Da Vinci Code?
I think he was.
Was he in My Crazy?
He was.
on that?
Yeah, I think there was the second Da Vinci Code. I think
Something.
it
Something. I
There's
swear
like
he was in
there's
something.
2 movies. There's like 3 movies with that.
Yeah, but
character.
he's always had a lot of smaller roles, and when he's in these roles, he always kind of shines in these roles.
Mhm.
And when he got into the MCU, like he was Jarvis already, and I don't know if that was their plan was to turn Jarvis into Vision anyways.
Mhm.
It just kind of fucking worked that way, and lucky for us. So
You know who he reminds me of a lot with his charisma and his personality. He reminds me a lot of Christopher Reeves when he was Superman. He just has that charming, charismatic personality.
that's a very
Every time I would watch it, I was
actually-
like, man, there's so many like just things that just reminds me of Christopher Reeve. That's like every time I see on screen and he's playing Vision, I'm just like, God, he reminds me of the way Christopher Reeves played Superman.
that's
Just-
I like that thought.
It's just one of the things that I noticed about him. I was just like,
because he's not overly commanding on his charisma.
Right.
He's very comfortable
Yeah.
and that's a very because very I like that a lot. So anyway, so White Vision's still around, so that means Paul Bettany's still around. Who knows what that's going to be? Moving on. Wanda's outfit finally, which was a big critique for a lot of folks during the MCU. Was that she didn't really kind of look like Wanda. She had red.
Mhm.
We can dive deeper into her powers and all this other stuff and who she was, Scarlet Witch or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, she got her fucking outfit upgrade, and it's very, very Silas. Yeah, in Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code. Okay,
So he did
there
play
it is.
Silas. Okay, I wasn't too far crazy. She got her MCU version of her comic look with the little crown and stuff like that. Though there's not a lot of pink in the tights there, which was probably a good idea. It's a very great MCU. Like
she looked
it's very like
amazing, yeah.
if that's what she's gonna be for that's
I'm
her,
on
that's
board
her-
with that.
Yeah, I'm very on board with that. It looks fantastic. At the end when she's fighting Agatha and does the trick with the runes, like she was actually paying attention.
That was fucking awesome.
That was kind of fucking dope.
Because I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, man, she's missing so much. Like, why is she just like?
Right.
She's usually pretty accurate with her magic.
Yep.
I'm like, why is she missing so much? And then when you reveal, you're like, that's what she was doing.
She caught on real fast. And listen, there's a lot of things, and we're just gonna glass over some of this. Clearly, I'm a super fan of this stuff. You're a big fan of this stuff as well too. We all are. There's a lot of things to glass over, and we're just trying to pick up some of the big pieces. As I'm sitting here talking, I'm thinking about this and this a little whatever. The big thing now that we're gonna get into is kind of more about the future, because when you get to the end, there was 2 post-credit scenes. What was the first one?
First one was Monica Rambeau and the
in the Skrull.
Skrull. Yep.
So yeah, which is really exciting because that could lead. Now we know what that leads from. Somebody hasn't seen Homecoming yet.
I've seen Homecoming.
Or Far From Home. Excuse me. Far
I'm
from
watching
Home.
that this weekend.
Far From Home.
I'm just gonna get
who
torn
she was,
apart right now for you putting that out.
Yeah, he has not seen.
I know.
How have you not seen Far
Dude,
From Home?
I was still suffering from the loss of Tony Stark. I wasn't quite ready to move on just yet.
Fuck off.
I know,
it's
here
a
it is.
really.
Here we
Jake
go,
Gyllenhaal
yeah.
is mysterious. Listen,
And that's
we
I'm
have-
a huge Jake Gyllenhaal
we
fan.
have waited literally our entire lifetime to have not only comic movies, but to have the technology to have Mysterio in live action, and you said nah. You said nah. Like what is
He's
that?
gonna spoil everything. Thanks, dude.
So she's referencing a character,
Like somebody wants to speak to you.
integral character in the MCU, and she's pointing up because that person's somewhere in the up, and it's just fucking crazy to me. That was big, but what happened afterwards was
That's a valid question by Cuddles.
what's that?
How did you never play Punch Out? That's the real question.
I played it a couple of times.
Thank you,
I
Cuddles.
did not play it. I played it a couple times, but I played probably the first time and did what I did the first time and said, "Yeah, fuck this game. I'm gonna go back to Final Fantasy. Fuck you guys. You fucking goddamn it." But at the end, and this is where we're gonna start kind of tying in some stuff. Now, the first thing I want to say is like when they're standing there and they're saying their goodbyes. It was you guys came back and you said it was very sad, and it was very sad because she had made up this reality, and she had went through so much, and now she's got to say goodbye.
Right.
There's a scene where the Red's coming towards them as they're saying goodbye,
Mhm.
and I got that Sam Raimi vibe, that Evil Dead vibe, because as we all know, Sam Raimi is coming to direct Doctor Strange 2 and going to be working on that. And if anybody in horror, you want to get somebody in horror involved, you want somebody like that. Somebody who's also had a little hand in some Spider-Man and some Marvel as well too. She is seen in what I'm guessing is Sokovia, judging by the lake. I'm guessing she's back in Sokovia.
Sure.
And she's in some random ass cabin making tea. And in the kind of around the corner, there she is in like this astral projection, kind of like Doctor Strange has done.
Yep.
And she's reading the fucking Darkhold. So now, I think we might have talked about Darkhold briefly last time, but the Darkhold is basically the MCU's version of the Necronomicon. If you're familiar with Evil Dead or any Lovecraft at all, the Necronomicon is kind of like a common thread that ties a lot of this together.
Sure.
The Mad Ahab is the one who Mad Arab, is that? Yeah, who originally was supposed to have written the Necronomicon, but he went mad doing it. It's a bunch of sigils. You can summon demons, etc., etc. That's the Lovecraft version, but it always is the one that kind of draws in the evil. And now we've got the Darkhold, which she has in her hands, which pretty much doesn't have anything to do with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version of the Darkhold and all the Ghost Rider bits. This is a different version of the Darkhold. But what's unique, and somebody pointed out, I believe it was Screen Crush and Ryan Airy pointed this out, is that in Doctor Strange, when you pull out all the books, there's a missing book.
Yep, there is a book missing.
People are always kind of hypothesizing what it is. Still hypothesizing that is actually the Darkhold missing from that. In matter of fact, which is cool, Agatha does mention the Sorcerer Supreme, saying that she might be stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, which is a big deal because she's probably the most strongest character now in the MCU. So she's sitting there in the astral protection. She's got the hex behind her, and she's reading the Darkhold. Now, the whole point of reading the Darkhold, which is bad, is that it can kind of make you kind of go crazy and probably can.
Sure.
It's not something you want to read, but what also known as the Book of Sins, the Book of Spells, the Book of the Damned is an ancient book of spells and unspeakable power. The book is made of dark matter from the Hell Dimension. For many years, people tried to find the book. It was finally found by Joseph and Lucy Bauer, which has also ties to potentially the villain Nightmare. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on that people can hypothesize right now. Who knows what any of that's going to be. But the big piece of this is that Agatha said you have no idea what you have now unleashed.
Yes.
Well, one of the things, just like in Lovecraft, the Necronomicon, Cthulhu, the Darkhold, the Thylon, which is the MCU versions of Cthulhu, more or less. So the question is, because Sam Raimi's roots come from Lovecraft and Evil Dead and horror, you get the Multiverse of Madness, Dormammu's kind of like a cosmic horror kind of thing. Is this going? Who is this going to usher in? What are they going to be doing in Doctor Strange 2, and how is it going to affect Phase 4? A lot of that we don't know the answers to, but we do know, as she's sitting there reading this book and all these possibilities of whatevers, she hears
kids
or children somewhere out in the multiverse, probably.
Or maybe a place where Vision didn't die, and they're actually...
Right, because if you remember, the Sorcerer Supreme in Endgame said, hey, you take this stone, you create a new timeline, and it goes out, diverges off this way. So there is a timeline out there where Vision doesn't die to Thanos, and they have children, and that's a good chance where her children, Tommy and whoever, I can't remember the other, I just know them as Wickham and Speed, are still alive. And she hears them call out there. So I think at the end of the day, what's driving her to the Darkhold, she's going to use that power to try and find her kids. And somehow this is going to bring in Doctor Strange, because clearly when you start playing with those kind of dimensions and multiverse, you can usher in a lot of bad stuff. Well, the Sorcerer Supreme is always supposed to be the one to protect Earth from those kind of entities. And that's going to bring him directly in some form of either alongside of her or against her.
We've got a couple interesting comments here. Crash2187 says, if you notice, the page next to the Scarlet Witch page was a page about the multiverse. I'm thinking the circles behind Wanda were mini multiverse portals, and that kind of goes with what you were saying.
That makes sense. She's probably out there, kind of like a CB radio, trying to figure out if she can hear any squelches or anything out there.
And then Jay Hill says, I saw something about the mountain Wanda is at. It's actually the mountain that Chthon lives.
That's a new one.
That's interesting.
Chthon, yeah, not Chthylon. Yeah, Chthon. Yeah, you're right, man. I knew I was saying that wrong. I want to throw that Y in there every time. So that's a lot and crazy ass shit to unpack. I know. And honestly, like, listen, I'm a big Sam Raimi guy. So I'm super excited about Doctor Strange 2. I probably said that numerous times on here. I think Doctor Strange is One of the more underrated in the MCU.
I
Just
love
because of the
Doctor
character.
Strange. I love I just love Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. He's so perfect for Doctor Strange.
He is the part. There's a lot that they're gonna do with Phase 4. How this is gonna continue. And to hopefully usher in some of the other things we want, which is mutants and whoever you can do there. At this point, the sky's the limit. But we don't know where that's going to go. We don't know exactly what she's doing. I just know that having the Darkhold in her hand is definitely going to bring Doctor Strange on her radar. It's going to bring potentially a big baddie evil stuff. We don't know
whether it's Mephisto or Nightmare or both. Maybe who knows?
Right, because the made up, were they a dream world of her kids? Like, how does that tap into Nightmare? Did Mephisto actually have a hand in it because he's tied with Agatha typically, and things like that? Or are we just going to focus on Chthon, being that it's the Darkhold and things like that, which is very cosmic space horror, which would really fit in with Doctor Strange. So we really don't know at the end of the day. It's just really exciting to see and not really know at that point. And Doctor Strange, we're maybe next year. I think we're going to see that sometime mid next year, late spring.
I think it was scheduled for
early
2022.
like spring 2022. So we're a ways off for all the speculation.
What do we have this year? We have Black Widow on May 7th, and then we have Spider-Man.
Theoretically,
the third Spider-Man is in December. That's what we're
hopefully
for. Hopefully.
All this stuff, hopefully
that's what we're doing here.
Do we need to go back to? I know there's a lot of stuff that was popping off. I want to see a lot of stuff. I know Candy Core, a
couple good comments.
Everybody was really super emotional on a lot of it. I understand that. It was pretty fucking wild.
6 Feet Snug said this was meant to drop after the Winter Soldier series and Loki, and also the Black Widow movie.
That's true. That's actually very true. And they moved this one forward.
Trying to find there was definitely a couple in here. Crash said, "Damn it, Vision died 3 times."
He did.
Bullshit. That's unfortunate. Half-ass viewer said there will be a cutscene at the end of Doctor Strange where Wanda goes back to Agatha. Yeah, Agatha is going to definitely be somewhere relevant at some point.
Yeah, because she's going to need to either learn more from her, or she's going to need her something.
There was one more comment. Find it here.
But overall, it seems to look like everybody out there really enjoyed WandaVision. It seemed to be all over the place, critically exciting for a lot of folks. I think everybody tend to enjoyed it. So,
Tricky says they team up in the comics, right? Do you mean Wanda and Agatha? Or do you mean Wanda and Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I don't know about Wanda and Doctor Strange
He means Agatha.
Agatha. Kinda.
She was kind of like her mentor.
Kinda. Yeah, it was kind of it was a weird relationship.
It sounds like weird. They could take her either way. In the MCU.
Yeah, I think there's some gray areas in that.
You can kind of move them one way or the other.
Yeah, there's some weird shit. And the thing about WandaVision is, and it's crazy to list this shit. I'm gonna tell everybody again, and we normally don't do this, but Screen Crush. Yeah. Ryan Airy on YouTube has the best Easter egg videos. He breaks down everything. He's entertaining.
Yep.
He's straight to the point. He literally and he intakes and he'll adapt things and say, "Hey, this guy last time from the last video said this," and he's adapting to all that stuff. You need to watch his Easter egg breakdowns, because I can sit here and talk about some of this shit and sound like a jackass. But this guy put it to video for everybody to kind of see. And there's a lot of references and ties into pop culture, media, not just like Marvel itself, just a lot of different things they do with
nods
this.
And stuff.
Yeah, it's very, very. The show is the writers are very, very smart, and it's almost fourth wall to some degree, and I really appreciate about that. So check out some of his Easter egg videos for some of them breakdowns. But point is that I'm excited because in 2 weeks,
next
Friday, we start with another series on D+. That is the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm very excited for that because. Ooh, boy, if you can give me more of that Winter Soldier feels, which is my favorite MCU flick.
Spy thriller, espionage stuff.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Give me more of that.
And we're obviously going to get more action than what we've seen. We've seen from the trailers. This is going to be I don't want to say it's going to be fully action, but there's going to be a lot of action-oriented stuff going on here. So definitely buckle up for that. It looks like it's going to be a wild series. So that starts next Friday. But, Tone, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Now,
probably Nug.
What do you say? Something about behind the scenes?
Yeah, they usually do that for a lot of their big series.
Yeah, they do a lot
Mando
of stuff.
Too.
They do a lot of stuff.
But that, yes.
Before we go, next week we will be talking about multiple items. We've got a lot of things to talk about, but movie-wise, we're going to be talking about Cosmic Sin with Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo. which is currently sitting at a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, so expectations are lowering quickly, despite my theory about Bruce Willis in sci-fi movies, which is unfortunate, and apparently this is just going to be trash early on, but again, this is like a small sample size of reviews, but it's currently sitting at 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't see that jumping up a whole lot more. We're also going to be watching Boss Level. We didn't realize this dropped, but Boss Level with Frank
How we
Grillo.
missed it.
We talked about it a
Another
couple
Frank
weeks
Grillo.
ago. It's available now on Netflix.
Hulu.
Hulu.
Mel Gibson and Frank Grillo.
That's right. Mel Gibson's in it as well. It's
On
available
Hulu.
on Hulu. I'll definitely be checking that out. And then Cherry with Tom Holland on Apple TV. 3 movies that look that we thought looked really,
Oscar
really
buzz
good.
is on this Cherry.
There's
Is that
little bit of buzz behind
Yep.
Cherry. So with Tom Holland, Cherry, again, Frank Grillo, Mel Gibson in Boss Level, and Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo in Cosmic Sin, which should be available for on-demand or rent on Friday on all streaming platforms. In terms of TV shows, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim the Black. I know Trick has watched it. I'm about halfway through the series. Honestly, like I'm really enjoying it. Because Pacific Rim is basically a live action anime, anyways, and that's kind of how Del Toro kind of looked at it as well, I think too.
Mhm.
And this really fits well in animation form.
Yes, so I got to get caught up and watch all of that. And whatever other news breaks, whether it be trailers, video game news, anything like that, we will definitely be covering that next week as well. Make sure you're in the Discord. That's where we pop a lot of the trailers that drop.
You're right.
Get in that Discord. Join us. Be a part of the conversation. Hang out with us. The Food Porn channel is worth it alone. Food
Make you
porn
hungry, though.
is
You'll eat
worth
your
it
phone.
alone. We have a lot of people in our community that love really, really good food, and they share photos of it just to piss you off. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Cuddles. We appreciate that. But, Tone, that's going to do it for this evening. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Discord, YouTube,
Discord,
Spotify,
YouTube,
iTunes. If you
social
aren't able to catch us
medias.
live, Spotify and iTunes,
Um,
Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music, everywhere, dude.
Don't forget to check out the what is that? The Bacon Club Chalupa at Taco Bell.
I'm actually might go get one tonight.
They're really fucking good.
Not joking. All right, so that's gonna do it for tonight's show. For Fanboytone, I'm the Dude79. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week. We'll have a lot to talk about. Be safe. Be warm. Take care. Night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Yes.
He's a grill
Yes.
guy. He's a grill man.
GG. Get in there for the Discord, damn it.
Yeah,
Get in there for the
we
food
need
porn.
your pictures in that.